we're on the channel again. It's been 3 weeks. It's been a long time. I've been sick in this time, about 3 times actually. It's been 3 weeks, so I've been sick probably once every week. But we're back on the screen again for another live stream. People, lava shlabang. Right, let's go. Right, so, is there anything to really start? Come up here. And then you're part of the stream. Alright, so where do we start? I mean, Brighton Vale being friendly on August 6th. I mean, I can't really say much about it. I've got a podcast tonight, so I can't really say much about that. When Seagulls Go Marching podcast, you guys have to go check out because that is an awesome podcast. We've been filming on there once a week, me and Harry. And why don't you start with telling us your experience from your first ever football match for Southampton?
Oh wow! What a blah blah blah! What a match! I mean, I've got nothing really bad to say about it. I'm just very glad on the result. 3-1. We're going to the Europa League. Can't really say nothing more.
Well, I mean, Europa League was secured against Manchester City in a 1-1 draw. Julio Enciso's incredible equaliser. After a goal we believe should have been offside by Haaland. But overall, I think we played really, really well this season. I think the main objective was just to fight for Europe. We got the second best European competition we could. And getting Europa League, for me, is incredible. It's an integral part of our history and it will always be remembered as our most memorable season. It's the first ever time we've ever got Europe. Getting Europe is not easy, is it?
No,
it's
not.
No. And especially when you're Brighton. I'll tell you that, because the amount of goal scoring problem we've had previously, we haven't really had them this year. We've had a few of them games like Wembley, but I don't think we've been all too bad. I think we have been incredible this season, and it's just incredible to see us back playing this sort of football. But hopefully next season we'll start up the way we started last season. Obviously, we beat Man United 2-1 away, and hopefully we can beat Luton Town at home. Obviously, they want to win that, you see, because it's our first game in the Premier League. How important is that for Luton?
Well, obviously, it's going to be a very, very important game for Luton because, like what you just said, it's their first ever game in the Premier League. So,
yes,
really,
it is. And, you know, people, you might be sitting there, you know, saying, Brighton are going to get the easy game, but we're not. The truth is, we're not. They're going to put a fight because it's their first game in the Premier League, just like any team would. But overall, it doesn't say we're not going to smash them because, you know, on our day, we're a very good side. I mean, you saw it against Leicester. You saw it again. Yeah. Well, Leicester got relegated, though.
Yeah.
But overall, I think we were incredible last season. We've got to bring that into next season for sure. You know, that's something we've got to hope for next season. And the future is bright for Brighton, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, yes, it is.
Mahmoud Dahoud has signed for Brighton.
Yes.
From Borussia Dortmund. What do you think about
that? All right. I'm just hoping he can play good on the pitch, you know. It's all said and done with the signing and everything, but it really is how well they play.
And how important is it?
I'll say important for the club.
Important. Right. Yeah, fair enough. But no, I've got to stop saying it.
Yeah.
I said it again.
Oh my god.
Will we get to Wembley next season? Now, this is something which I think I will get asked a lot. I think a lot of Brighton fans will be asked a lot because the FA Cup run last season was incredible. We got to Wembley. We got knocked out. I feel like we could have won it, and we should have won it. With the chances we had. Like Matoma, he went through and goal in that last minute and he gave a completely miss. He ran straight to the keeper.
He should have done better.
With the squad we got right now, Milner coming in, Dahoud,
Pedro.
Pedro. We could be signing Mohamed Kudus. What are you saying about all this? Do you think we got a chance to get Wembley again next season?
Yeah, I think we might, but we'd have to wait and see. I mean, it could be a one-time thing, but I do hope we can do it again. It would be amazing if we could.
Yeah, it would be brilliant, wouldn't it? Really amazing. Yeah, I mean, look, it's something we all look forward to, isn't it? Trip up to Wembley now. It took me about 2 hours to get there. And you know what? My legs are hurting a little bit, you know, because I didn't have much leg room on the bus. That's something to talk about in another episode, though. But people, I mean, look, we're back here in front of the camera, my first time in 3 weeks, and you know what? It feels pretty good to be back on the stage. the big stage.
Mm.
But look,
Big
I
one.
mean, what else is there to talk about? I mean, Europa League, we haven't got the draw for Europa League yet, so we can't really say much on it. I'm excited, and hopefully we'll get a match day vlog from another country. And if we get to the final, I'm hoping to be able to attend that.
Mm.
Even if it's against Liverpool, I will attend it if I can. Because it's such an important part of our history, and if we win that final, you know how big that'll be.
Oh, it may be massive.
It will be massive, and we know we're capable of beating Liverpool. We know it. We saw it last season. I get they weren't that good last season for parts of the season, but I genuinely feel that if we played them in the final, we'd have a good chance.
I think we'll do well, and obviously, if we do pull off winning the final, there'll be parties for weeks on end.
Oh yeah, no, you wouldn't hear the end of it, would you?
No.
Because the thing is, we're Brighton and Albion, right? We haven't won much, have we? I mean, what was it? The last thing I remember one of the first things we won was like the Charity Cup against Aston Villa in like not one of the low 1900s. But it's been a long time since we won a trophy, and I think this season, if we go out there big and we invest on these players like Karius, then we could potentially see silverware in the next few seasons because this team is beginning to look great. Mini Raptor God, I haven't heard from you in a long time, buddy, because I haven't been live, have I? Welcome to the stream, people who have been here, who haven't been here for a very long time, but obviously I haven't been live recently. But welcome back, people. This is going to be more of a regular thing, hopefully. Right, what's next to talk about? Anything?
I'm not really.
Aston Villa, we didn't really do anything on Aston Villa. I can talk a little bit about that.
Okay, then.
That was a long time ago, people. As you would remember, we did lose that game. But I never really said anything about the Aston Villa game. So, yeah, look, I'm. The thing is, we lost the game. And I feel like we could have gotten a result, couldn't we? I mean, I sort of felt like Unda's goal. I mean, I can't remember what happened. In a moment, I was a little bit disappointed but it got flagged offside. I was, because I genuinely felt like it was a good goal, and it was. It was
counted.
Well, I don't know about that. I haven't really. I can't remember it, but yeah, it was important. If that counted, you know how big that would be. I miss you, bro. I miss the fans. I miss everyone being here on the chat, on the channel. But I'm back. People, actually, if you haven't already found out, if you go on Spotify, search up When the Seagulls Go Marching in podcast, and you'll see me and Harry on there. We do episodes every week, and we've been doing it now for about, well, we published a few episodes together now. So, not 2 weeks, I'll say about 3 or 4. But definitely go check that out if you haven't seen any content from me recently. You can actually, I believe, leave comments on that as well. So, you know. But back to that night against Villa. I personally, well, we all know we never beat Villa. And you know what? I'm going to put it out there. I don't think we will beat Villa for a long time because we never do. And it felt like when we played at home against them as well, they were a little bit dirty when we played at home against them because they were literally on the floor a lot. But that's something from the past, isn't it? But something for the future to be excited about is Matchday Vlog. Now, this is where, you know, a little bit of a change comes in. Obviously, the microphone will be here for the first full season. We'll have different people coming on the interviews. Hopefully, we'll get more of you on there. You know, so it's not just Harry coming on, not just him, Hayden. But we're hoping to get more people on, and hopefully we'll create that sort of fan base who constantly want to keep coming on the channel and showing their support, giving their interviews. You know, we do that sort of stuff. And look, I've met a few of you on Instagram now who said you're going to come on and you're going to join me for an interview. Look, go ahead. If you want to go to the Alex and you want to come on for an interview, go ahead. Because if you check your Instagram and go on my Instagram story at Charlie and Hove Albion, you will see where I'm going to be for the next 10-15 minutes for the interview. Because I only say that for about 10-15 minutes because not too many people want to come down, unfortunately. Because I haven't grown that big in popularity yet. But to be fair, my last channel was 7 years old now. And I only got 50 subscribers. On this thing, I haven't even been on there for a year, and I've already hit 200. So I'm happy with it. I'm really happy with that. And the support has been brilliant, really, really good. And hopefully that continues next season, because next season is such an important season for us, because it's our first season in Europe and a season where we've got to try and achieve Europe again. We've got to keep going for it. Okay, we're going to be tired playing 3 times a week, but we've got players to replace playing now. So we got the squad depth a little bit more, haven't we? But Karius, how important is he, man? He is just what a signing, man. If we get him, of course, it's not confirmed.
No. Well, obviously, I think if we do sign, it's going to be massive for Brighton.
In what way?
We might win more.
He has
games.
attacking threats.
Yeah.
11 goals, 3 assists.
Yeah.
And he's a midfielder. So I think personally, what an addition that could be to the squad. Obviously, we've seen, if you're out, we've probably seen some of the highlights now. And there's another one I want to talk about. Bart Verbruggen signed for Brighton from Anderlecht, I believe it was.
I think so.
Yeah,
Not
probably.
entirely 100% sure.
Goalkeeper, one of the best young keepers in Europe. And of course, you cannot forget that save he made when there was like an open net and it went into the far corner. He managed to just about get across. He saved it. What a goalkeeper he's looking. Are you excited for him?
Yes, I'm quite excited.
Obviously, should he take over still as well? I think maybe. I mean, we got to see him first.
Yeah, obviously, we like what you just said. We got to see how he plays.
Maybe pre-season.
Yeah. It'll be good to see him in pre-season.
21 days until pre-season starts.
Yep. So what I think what De Zerbi should do, throw him up there in the pre-season game, just then De Zerbi can kind of think on what he could do with him. Is he going to take Steele's role? We don't know, depending what De Zerbi is thinking.
What happened with Sanchez? Well, basically, so when we had the open day at the Amex, Sanchez sort of lost his head. He was like, I don't know why, he left training early and a lot of people noticed that. And I don't think Roberto was very happy. And that's why then he started Steele over him. And then since Steele's been started over him, he's been saying, I've not come this far to away games just to sit on the bench and all that. And he's getting really impatient. But why go to Real Madrid? Because Real Madrid are monitoring the situation. Why go to Real Madrid and they're just going to do the same thing to you? You know what I mean? You might win a few Champions League, but you're nothing to do with it because you're not going to play unless somehow the keeper gets injured. Because there's no way he's starting over him.
No,
so he's insane. He's such a good goalkeeper. And you know what, Sanchez, when he first came into the club, he was a fairly decent keeper. I think we all really, really liked him. But recently, he's just become a player who, well,
getting a bit too big.
He's becoming a player who's just getting a bit too
big for his boots.
Right. Why aren't you talking about the risk of Europa ban as Bloom has 2 clubs in the competition who will forfeit? Hopefully yeah, exactly. That's something else we have to the thing is, I think Bloom's got to sort of I sort of feel like he should sell the Belgian club now and buy someone who don't play in the European competition, because what happens when we do play each other? You know what I mean? 2 clubs owned by the same guy. Surely, you'd expect Brighton to be in a competition, and I would have mad respect if they actually allowed us to do that, considering the fact he had 2 clubs owned. But if we can't play the same competition, then what happens? We could potentially be banned from complete Europe. I don't see the problem with going to Conference League, no. But personally, I feel like as third favourites in Europa League, I still feel like we should be the ones to be included in there, because that means Liverpool, Brighton. Well, Liverpool are out now, aren't they? I think they're in Champions League actually because of Man City winning the FA Cup. But away from that point, I think personally it'll be really, really, really sad to see Albion not competing in Europe, and it'll be a horrible, horrible situation for us. And it's one we're not going to like, and I think it's one we'll all disagree with. But that's on Bloom if that happens, and I'm sure the fans from USG will be saying the same thing. They'll be sitting there probably a little bit worried about that, because they want to play Europe too, and it's not fair if Bloom's just going to own both clubs, and because of that, one of us is going to get banned. If one of us gets banned, then they might just ban both of us at the end of the day, because it's only fair. But obviously we don't want that to happen, so hopefully Bloom makes a sale of USG, even though I like the sort of players, we're loaning in, Dennis and Dav. He's sort of proving himself now, isn't he?
Yeah, he definitely has started improving himself. Now, if I remember rightly, I'm not sure if can't remember this, but didn't Dennis and Dav score a goal in the Brighton v Southampton?
And Dav?
Yeah, for some reason I'm remembering.
No, I don't know. I can't remember. We were there that day on the Matchday vlog. You might as well go check that out again.
Yeah.
I think the one you're thinking about is Arsenal, where he lobbed over the keeper.
Oh, yeah.
Look, that was a beautiful goal. He did the same thing against Wolves, didn't he? But I still think the Wolves one was harder. But Unda came in from USG, and at first he couldn't hit the side of a barn door. We stood right next to it, could he? but now he is just proven to be a wonderful player for the Seagulls, and
Yeah.
you can see that skill actually against Aston Villa, where he was using his head a lot and really controlling it, and he has a lethal strike, doesn't he? Sometimes he on his day he'll have a lethal strike, and other days he just I don't know what happens to him.
Sometimes he
The thing is with him, I think he loses his confidence some games, and the next game he'll be up there full confident. He'll go over there, lock the keeper, do something like that, and he'll make jokes. Well, a lot of people make jokes at the keeper, wouldn't they? But I don't think he's been so good, but he has made any keeper look like a joke, because I don't see many keepers actually saving some of the strike. Like that chip against Aaron Ramsdale was a chip I don't think he could have really much about. I think the defensive line for Arsenal were, pressing too high.
Yeah.
And that created the whole chance, and obviously Leandro Trossard deflection played it, I think, straight into one of our players. I think Gross actually assisted it, even though a lot of people still claim Trossard did. I'm not too sure, because it might have taken something off of the Albion man. But either way, Trossard still plays a part in that goal, and it's a crucial game for Brian, wasn't it? It was against top of the league, and I think because we beat Arsenal, it put a lot of confidence out of the club, didn't it? It took a lot off of him, and I made him realise that maybe it is the year for Manchester City again. And I think they've won it 3 years in a row, won Champions League now. They're incredible, Man City, aren't they?
To get 3 wins for trophies.
But then the debate is, and a lot of people say this, I agree, oil money clubs.
Yeah.
Oil money club, right?
They just like to spend and spend and spend.
Exactly, they are an oil money club, and that's probably why they've won so many trophies.
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola, though, I'm not calling him a bad manager. He is a good manager.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. Definitely. He's been at Barca. He's been at Man City, and look at him.
We've got nothing against them, but it's just when they cheat.
Cheat, well,
sometimes
they can be a little bit dirty.
Yeah. I've got nothing against them or anything. It's just when they just play dirty, it's just wrong.
Dirty, yeah. I can agree. I mean, yeah, we got to admit both Manchester sides are a little bit dirty, but that's something for another day, isn't it? That's something Hayden over here, the United fan, can talk about. So, what do you make of Billy Gilmour? He's more time happy with performance. Yeah, I mean, look, I think Billy Gilmour should definitely get more playtime. Definitely, because what I've seen from him recently is he's become much of a better player, hasn't he? The passing from him, particularly, has developed a lot since he was at Chelsea, obviously. I feel like he creates chances a lot more for the Albion now, and he's one of them players who I think doesn't deserve to start every game, because obviously we have got Xhaka Motta, who will be returned much from injury. We've got Adam Lallana, a player who I absolutely love at this football club. He is incredible as well. So, yeah, I agree with you, Millie Rapscott, actually. He's gotten way better, definitely. And I can see him score a few goals next season if he gets the game time. Again, I do believe he should. He's better than Facundo Buonanotte, without a doubt, because Facundo, I don't get what it is about him. I don't like what he brings to the team. I feel like he hasn't got what players like Julio and Billy and obviously Solly March, a player who was taken over. I don't think he's got what they deliver to a football club. Billy's passing particularly has got me really, really happy, and the way he plays, it's like Jean-Paul Van Hecke, isn't it? Van Hecke started quite poorly at the club, and I've spoken to Billy before, actually, and we said to him, I can't remember what we said, something like, good performance, get back out there and keep going. And after we said that, we didn't see him for a long time, and then he comes on for the next game. He's incredible, and he was really, really hard to make it. And what I'm saying about Van Hecke is, when you're playing against Manchester City and you're defending like that against Erling Haaland, without a doubt, you're a good player. Absolutely. When you see how he played against Leicester, he wasn't very good. But when you compare how he's come with this football club, you see difference in his passing, in his overall defending, him staying calm.
He's got more better, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
The seasons have gone on with the Albion, I'd say he's got a lot more better, I would say.
He looks nervous sometimes. Yeah, definitely. He does. He's more time. I also agree, he does have to have more time, doesn't he? Billy Gilmour is one of those players. You just got to appreciate him, and you just got to let him fit in with the team, give him some time, and he will be there. He will deliver. I'm sure he will deliver. He'll be a really good replacement when Lallana leaves the club. Motta in line as well for potentially Caicedo leaving. But obviously, we can't forget Mahmoud Dahoud, that's the name.
Dahoud.
Now, Dahoud, I mean, we've spoken about him already, but that'll be another great addition. Alright, Ralph. Yeah, people, by the way, if you didn't know, Ralph and I will be hopefully collabing soon. So, who knows what that's going to be about, but hopefully we'll see some of you guys around the ground as well, like I said earlier on in the stream. Now, guys, if you've got any more questions, feel free to ask. We've got about 5 minutes. And then, yeah, give us as many questions as you got, and hopefully we'll answer them.
Yeah, hopefully.
By the end. Dahoud is a good signing. Now, it's something I've got to think about, though, because obviously, Mahmoud Dahoud, I mean, he was a free agent, so obviously he didn't fit in as much at Dortmund as we'd expect. I mean, his stats are fairly low as well, to be honest with you. But at the same time, he brings someone in who's had experience playing in the Bundesliga. He's been teammates with Haaland and big players like himself. So, I mean, you've got to look forward to what Dahoud brings. Excited for the club, man. Yeah, it's going to be good, isn't it? And look, the ideas, people in the chat, you could give us some ideas, because me and Ralph are gonna do a collab, and hopefully you guys can give us some ideas, because personally, the more ideas, the better video you're gonna get, because obviously you guys are gonna get to see what you want to see. I've got a cold, it's awful. Oh, by the way, would you guys be interested in potentially a video of me trying to teach this man over here how to be a goalkeeper, because he is useless in goal?
To be honest, I'm quite awful.
You guys want to see a video? Let me know in a chat. But people, right, if there's any more questions, ask now. If not, then we're going to go. So we'll give you about a minute or two to type in a question, and we'll see. Well, we'll answer it, definitely, by the time you send it. Right.
We can try and answer the best we can.
And if your question is, why haven't I been here for a long time? I'll take a little bit of a break. I will definitely be back to full-time Matchday Vlogs, 100%. And
I think you've been dying to see them.
Yeah. And I have been sick for this week, so a scheduled video can come out. Poison, Challenge Europe. Look at West Ham this season. Where do you think the season will end?
Ooh.
The thing is with West Ham is they've had last season. Well, not last season, that's the season we just had, isn't it? But the season before, our first season in Europe, they looked pretty good, didn't they? Playing 3 times a week. I think they were quite happy with that Conference League, right? This last season, they had Conference League, they won it all, but they didn't end up so good in the Premier League. So that's where I come into thinking here. Are we going to play good in the Premier League still? Will we have that part of the club? Will we have the fight in our players? Now, that's something I'm not too sure on as much, because playing 3 times a week, because of obviously FA Cup games and all that, is not easy.
No.
Really isn't easy. So, with that being said, I don't know if we're going to get Europe this season. What I do know is that for sure, because it's our first season in Europe, we will go for it. We will go for it. We'll be like Luton Town in the Premier League for the first game. Go for it. Because it's really, really hard to step up to European level. I get that 100%. But we've got to play entertaining football, just like we do in the Premier League, and we've got to play with that level of confidence too, haven't we? We've got to get Matoma, get them goals, we've got to get Fergie, we've got to get Solomon. All these players have to be scoring these goals. We've got to keep it going. Dunk, obviously, at the back, you can't forget him. What a solid defender he is. No own goals, hopefully, for him in the Europa League.
Hopefully.
He only scored 2 own goals last season, actually, which isn't too bad, But he did have a really bad one, I think, against Fulham or Brentford. It was an absolute stinker.
Yeah.
But overall, I think next season it's going to be difficult for us, because defensively, I don't know where we're going to be at. 4-0 Cheltenham, by the way. But
Wow.
believe me, it's not too interesting.
No.
Also, whoever they're playing against aren't even in League Two.
No.
But overall, I personally think that the weak spot is going to be defence and attack. Midfield, I think we're solid in. João Pedro, because Murray said some stuff on him about how he's going to be a magical player for the Albion. If it's true, and he is that magical sort of player he's saying he is, then I think we, are going to look forward to it, because honestly, if Pedro's doing that, he's going to definitely smash it in the Europa League. I think we all know that. So, yeah, really difficult season up ahead. 3-0 Brighton win against Luton. Yeah, I mean, I can't say my prediction, because obviously I do Matchday Vlogs and I like to say my prediction at the ground. But what I will say is, I sort of feel like Luton will have to fight 100%. I don't think it's going to be an easy game.
I don't think
It's
they're
probably
gonna go down
probably one of
well.
the easiest ones. Although we always let one slip past, you are right. Yeah, exactly. And usually against newly promoted sides or relegated sides. So, I mean, take the Everton game for example. They were getting relegated, beats 5-1. Shocking. I don't want to talk about that game, but
No.
I might delete the video off YouTube because I accidentally added 3 halves onto it. So, but no, I personally think we can win it. Definitely, 100%. We should. But Luton Town, I don't think are going to let us get away that easy.
They're going to put up a really good fight.
They will.
And I do hope that they do, because there's no point just having such an easy game and it's going to like no.
Well, it won't be. That's the thing. It's not going to be like playing Leicester. It's not going to be like playing Grimsby.
No.
Grimsby are in League 2 now, and well, they've been in League 2 for a long time. 5-0 now, brilliant. But talking away from that, we're talking about the Premier League. The only private sides aren't going to play too bad in the first game. Unless they're playing against Man City or Liverpool or someone like that who have the abilities to win the league. Brighton, I think we've got a really bright future. And
ahead of us.
I don't think we're going to win the league in the next 5-10 years. Definitely not. But I think eventually the season might just be coming. So, people, we're going to leave it there. Appreciate you guys listening. See you all in the next one. It'll be a proper video next time, hopefully.
See you
Peace.
later.